Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So it's time for another live stream, which is so good because I need to write so bad. It is Friday and I have yet to write this week. This week has been literally crazy. I can't even tell you how crazy this week has been. It's like every day I was like, oh, I should write today. Something happened. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's happened to. So Monday everyone was home because it was Veterans Day. So daughter was home from school, husband was home from work, everybody was home, and I was just like, well, I don't know if this is happening today. And then Tuesday I decided I was going to meal prep, is what happened on Tuesday. And then by the time I was done meal prepping, my brain was just in shutdown mode. And that's what happened on Tuesday because I spent most of my day meal prepping. Yesterday, I had every intention of finally getting some words in, and then my son decided to have an accident, and we ended up in the ER for the better part of 4 or 5 hours because he needed stitches. So yeah, so here we are, Friday, and this will be the first time I'm writing all week. So thank God for live streams, I guess. Make sure to comment below and let me know who's here and what you're all going to be working on today. Is everyone participating in NaNoWriMo? I am, although according to the NaNoWriMo's word tracker, I am severely far behind. So for anybody who this is the first time they're joining my watching my live stream, I do 3 15-minute writing sprints, and I ask a question during the breaks for us to answer when we get back. So usually it's all writing related. I'll ask a question about what you're working on, or like scenes you're writing, or characters, or something like that. Something to just kind of keep our minds on our writing, I think, so we don't try not to get too distracted, because I can get very easily distracted, which is why today I have my writing timer and I also have my break timer on my phone, which you can't really see because my camera doesn't want to work. Yeah, but I have my break timer too. That way I'm not sitting here blabbing on for 20 minutes before we start another writing sprint. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me and how I've been doing and crazy stuff that's been going on in my life lately. So let me know if anything crazy has happened to you this week. I'm gonna quick give a shout out to everyone that's joining. Hi Jace, and why is this not showing up? I wonder if this is lagged. Hold on, because it's not view. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm waiting. There we go. See, I was wondering what was going on. The comments weren't showing up in my StreamYard, but I could see them on the YouTube stream. So I was like, what's going on here? So let me start again. Hi, Jace and Destiny and Away from Harbor. Harbor? Do you live close to a harbor? So how's everyone doing? Like I said, I wanted to know, is everyone participating in Nano, and what are you guys working on today? I'm participating in Nano. My goal was to write 1 scene a day on the days that I had planned written, because I kind of put my calendar together here, and I scribbled out the days I couldn't write. And then if I actually scribbled out all the days that I ended up not writing so far, there'd be a lot more purple on this calendar. Because if you guys were here in the beginning, I haven't written at all this week, and I planned on writing Monday through Saturdays for most of the weeks. And this week I didn't write at all, and it's Friday already. There's always been something going on. Is it normal that StreamYard doesn't always update? Maybe that's just me. Oh, okay, here we go. So Jace, I guess he had some crazy stuff happen. He went through depression for 3 days after hitting 50,000. Wow, you've already hit 50,000 words? Wow, I can't do that. But congratulations. I'm sorry about the depression. I would have been ecstatic after hitting 50,000 words in 2 weeks. But that's just me. So, I mean, at least you got through your 50,000 words first, I guess. 3 days is a long time, though, because I mean, I know my mom struggles with that, and I know how hard it is when, you know, with depression, there's good days and bad days. So if it was bad days for 3 days in a row, that's really hard, and I know it is because I've seen it, and it sucks. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. But now you're regular again. What is regular? I'm assuming that means you're not feeling depressed anymore. So that's good. Oh, and you don't live anywhere near a harbor. That's okay. Yeah, wow, everybody is just killing it with Nano. You finished Nano too? Did you finish 50,000 words, or were you just finishing off a novel like I am? Like, I'm finishing off a story for Nano, but I already had like 35,000 words written before I even started Nano, technically. I wish I'd made a schedule. Well, I'm only at not 14,000. Oh, there's our timer. So that means it's time for our first writing sprint. And before we get started, I'm going to quick ask you guys a quick question for you guys to answer when we get back from the break. And that is, if you're writing a scene today, whether that's in your Nano novel or a different novel that you're writing, it's still technically Nano. So if you're writing something else, I would still consider that a Nano project. What will your characters be doing in the scene that you're writing today? And like I said, you can answer that when we get back from the break, and I'm going to answer that when we get back from the break too. But it's time for our first sprint. So let me figure out what I'm doing here. Is that what I want? Yeah, that's what I want. There we go. Okay, is everyone ready? First writing sprint in 3, 2, 1, and go. Was that just me, or was there a Star Wars thing that just went across the timer that caught me completely off guard? Sorry. What is up with this timer? Okay, sorry guys, the timer actually went off, but I had to mute it because of all of those funny sounds. So, my apologies. I actually need to go back to, I need to go back to a different one because I didn't realize that there was, it said natural sounds. It didn't say that there was going to be like Star Wars and weird music and like all of that stuff. I just wanted a timer. So apparently I need to research my timers better before I start this. So maybe this one will work better. Okay. So now that we're back, yes, now that we're back, let's see how everyone did and let's see what everyone's characters are up to. That's what I'm really interested in. Okay, so how did I do? That's always the real question. I got 156 words. Which isn't bad because I didn't have the whole 15 minutes. I was kind of messing around with the timer and the comments, and then because I haven't written in like a week, I kind of have to reread like the beginning part, like the last couple of paragraphs to kind of get myself back into whatever scene I was writing before, especially when I'm gone for that many days. So I'm pretty happy with 156 right now because I know I didn't have the full 15 minutes. Another thing, I'll just quick ask this. Do any of you, I was wondering if any of you know what your ideal writing sprint time is, because I noticed that if I write for 15 minutes, I usually, and this is like my normal writing time, like if I have a full 15 minutes of writing and I don't have to like readjust myself quite as much as I did this first time, I can usually get between 200 and 300 words. But if I stretch that to a 20-minute sprint, I tend to get more like 400 to 500 words, and it's only an additional 5 minutes. But for some reason, that additional 5 minutes means a great deal to me during my sprints. So I'm just curious if any of you have ever figured, done different time sprints and found that one time worked better for you than another. Like I found that 20-minute sprints actually work better than 15-minute sprints for me. So I was wondering if any of you kind of found that true for you. Okay, so let's see how everyone did and what everyone's working on today. Oh, hi Sky. It looks like another couple of people might have jumped in here. So hi Sky, and it looks like Samantha jumped in, and Cindy, and anybody else? I'm just kind of going through, seeing if anybody else hopped in. Hello, nobody in particular. It's nice to see. I think that's Amy. So I'm used to it just saying Amy on this because she's usually on screen when I watch her in everybody else's live streams, but I think that's her. Okay, so let's see what everyone's characters are doing. My character right now is in the middle of a rescue scene. Well, I should say both of my characters because I have two main characters. I'm writing a romance. So both of my main characters are in the middle of a rescue scene. My main male character is rescuing the main female character because she got captured by the leaders. They're called the leaders. They're basically the head honchos in the werewolf world. And she was basically kidnapped for bait in order to catch the main male character. So right now they're kind of in the middle of that little escape scene that's going on. Let's see. Here we go. Jace, his MC is lying to his human schoolmates to hide the supernatural stuff in the world. Okay. So what category story are you writing? It sounds like it might be urban fantasy or paranormal romance. I don't know if it's romance, so that's why I said urban fantasy as well. I know that's pretty common in urban fantasy where, it's regular world, but there's like, the supernatural underbelly of the world that like regular people aren't supposed to know about. Okay, and Sky says her witch just discovered her neighbor's a werewolf. Now she has questions. Yeah, well, are you writing an urban fantasy or a paranormal romance as well? Is it not common knowledge that there's, you know, supernatural stuff in the world? Because if she's a witch, I'm assuming she knows about it. So, are werewolves uncommon in your world that she's surprised or has questions about it? Okay, and Destiny says her, you know what, before I forget, because I have a really bad habit of talking too much, which I think all of you know now. I have my my break timer. Come on, adjust. You could do it. There you go. I have my break timer started, so when this goes off, I need to stop talking. Okay, Destiny says her MMC is on tour and the supernatural connection that links them to, oh, to your female main character, so you have two main male characters, is causing them pain. Okay. Distance and length of time they are apart. Okay, I think I get it. So the farther apart they are and the longer they're apart, the more pain they feel. I'm gonna assume is that what you're writing right now? Are you writing about them experiencing the pain? I'm guessing. That sounds interesting though. Okay, let's see how everybody did with the words. Okay, so Sky got 71 words. Destiny got 140 words. Away from Harbor got 419 words. I think that's Amy. Got 168 words. Thank you, Amy. I thought it was you. I didn't want to assume, but I was pretty sure that it was you. Okay, Cindy got 412. Oh, okay. And then Sky said that her sweet spot for writing sprints are between 15 and 20 minutes. I haven't really tried. I tried a 5-minute sprint one time. One because I had to, because my daughter was getting off the bus in like 6 minutes, and I was like, I really want to get some writing in while I can, so I'm just going to use these 5 minutes. And I just kind of randomly did a 5-minute sprint, and I mean that worked well, I guess, because I was already kind of, it was an additional one, so I just finished a 20-minute writing sprint, and then like I had a few minute break, and then I just jumped into a quick 5-minute one, and that, you know, that went okay. It was, you know, I got like 100 words or something, so that was okay. But I haven't really tried very many other times. It was really just that one time, and then 15 or 20-minute sprints, because that's what most people on live streams do, and I'm usually watching other people's live streams, or I'm live streaming myself. So that seems to be the only times I've tried so far. Maybe I should experiment with that. Destiny says 20 minutes or better. Yes, I agree. 20 minutes seem to be better for me. Apparently, I just need that extra 5 minutes to get into my groove or whatever. Jace said that the 20 works better. You know, maybe if everybody's kind of agreeable, maybe next time I live stream, I think I'm live streaming again next Friday. So maybe next Friday I'll do 20 minute sprints instead of 15. Oh, hi, Ian. He says 20 minutes works better for him too. So that's cool. Oh, and he says his main character is committing suicide in today's scene. Oh, that's going to be a hard scene to write. I mean, I would have a hard time writing that scene. I mean, I never wrote a scene quite like that, so I can't, it's hard for me to imagine trying to write that scene. Oh, Jay says that he is writing a YA urban fantasy. So yeah, that makes sense with what he said his main character's doing. Sky's writing paranormal romance, but she's never known there was anything more than witches and humans. Okay, so she knew there was some sort of supernatural element in the world. She was just limited, I guess, on what she knew. Destiny has 4 main male characters. That has to be a lot to keep track of. I mean, I have a hard enough time with 1 male and 1 female character. I can't imagine having 5 main characters in one book. That has to be a lot to keep track of. And, you know, especially if you're switching point of views a lot, because I switch point of views between my male and female character. And that is enough for me to try for right now. I'm not ready for 5. Did it take you some time to work up to 5? Did you start at 2 and kind of added characters as you got better, or wrote more, or felt more comfortable with more point of views? Okay. Do, 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 do. Okay. Oh, and oh, that's my timer. It means it's time for me to stop talking and start writing, apparently. So let me, I pulled up a different timer, as you guys can see. That's another thing I keep forgetting to do. I'm so bad at this StreamYard thing so far. I gotta practice. I keep forgetting to like take the timer away when we're not writing like this. I forget to do this. But now it's time to write, so I need the timer back on. So I switched my timer because I didn't want all of the music and the weird distractions that were going on in that timer. So I'm going to be using this timer this time. So is everyone ready to write? Because I need to get words in. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, and write. Oh, the timer's okay, and the timer counts down for me. I'm sorry. I did your job, timer. Okay, so that's the end of that writing sprint. Man, my words are, I'm struggling with words today. I had to go back to my timer. It switched my timer on me again. Okay. Stop it. Oh! I'm sorry. Me and StreamYard aren't getting along today. Okay, so how did everyone do? What did you do? And what was the question I asked? How does your character celebrate the holidays? Okay, so first, how did I do? Because I never know how I do. Okay, well, I'm up to 373 for this stream, which means I got to do math because I'm using Scrivener and it won't do that math for me. Darn it. 373 minus 1. I got 217 words that time. That's more in my normal range. I'm usually between 200 and 300. And like I said, it seems I need to like get myself back into the scene usually. But that's not bad because I know I really didn't start writing until the timer was close to 10 minutes. So apparently I got that in like 10 minutes. So okay, so let's see. Oh, how does your character celebrate the holidays? So I guess I'll start. I'll answer that question first. My main female character, they don't celebrate the holidays that we know, like Christmas and Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and all those things. They celebrate the winter solstice. So it's a very nature-derived celebration, but a lot of the things that they do are inspired by Christmas and Yule and things like that. So in her village, they have a winter solstice festival. So they decorate the like village center with lanterns and trees and with like little ornaments on them and things like that, which is very like Christmas inspired. But it doesn't center around Christmas. They celebrate it on the winter solstice, which is the old time where it switches from fall to winter. It's supposed to be where it's like the longest night of the year is the winter solstice or something like that. So anyway, that's how they celebrate the holidays, their winter holidays. I guess maybe I should have specified, but that's how they celebrate it. It's like their whole village has a big festival and there's a feast and there's lights and there's decorations and and they exchange gifts. So like I said, it's very Christmas inspired, but it's not actually Christmas. Okay, so let's see how everyone else's characters celebrate Christmas. Okay, so Jay says his MC moved in with his grandparents at the beginning of the book and won't be reaching any holidays in the first or second book. So he doesn't know what holidays there are like yet. Okay, well, that makes sense. So your characters won't be celebrating the holidays in the book, but has he celebrated any holidays prior to the book, backstory wise? My character did actually celebrate a holiday, but that was not in this current book. That was in the previous book to this one, in my Kiss of Fire book, because she's also in that book. So because she's my main female character in this book, Kiss of the Arctic, is the adoptive sister of my main male character in my second book, Kiss of Fire. So she celebrated the holidays in the last book, but not this book. Okay, and then Destiny said she hasn't really paid attention to the holidays in her books, but that might be something to think about in the edits. Well, like I said, I don't think necessarily you have to celebrate the holidays in story, like in real time. Sometimes I think it's just interesting to think about how your character would celebrate the holidays, because you know, how someone celebrates the holidays kind of says a lot about them as a character. You know, are they kind of a loner? Do they spend the holidays alone? Do they not have anyone? Or like that's how my main male character has been for the last, he's a vampire, so he's hundreds of years, he's like 300 years old. So that's how he's celebrated the holidays since he got turned into a vampire. So he's been very much a loner and hasn't really celebrated the holidays at all. So there was no celebrations for him. Whereas my main female character has a very close-knit, loving family. So they always made a big deal out of the holidays. So, like I said, sometimes it's not always about doing it in story. I just like to think about it, even if it's just during backstory, just because, I don't know. Maybe I'm too obsessed with backstories. Okay. All right. And then Alex says, well, main character 1 I'm assuming doesn't celebrate the holidays, but Corbin does. So when he left the Fae Mounds, he stopped celebrating the soul. Okay. So your main character used to celebrate the holidays and now doesn't. No, I didn't add that. I didn't add the Yule log thing. Like I said, most of my inspiration came from Christmas, and even though they're not celebrating Christmas, they're celebrating the winter solstice. They have a bonfire. Does that count? They have like a big bonfire in the center, in the village center, and then they have the lights kind of going around the village center, and like the trees and the decorations, you know, go make a circle around that. So I don't know if a bonfire counts as burning a Yule log. I guess not. Okay, so let's see how many words everybody got. I think I got 217. I think that's what mine was. Okay, so Alec got 243. Ian got 185. Not a terrible, great result for 20 minutes. Actually, that was only a 15-minute sprint, but it's 6:30 in the morning and I'm super tired. I would not be writing at 6:30 in the morning. So you're getting some awesome words in considering the time of day it is. A lot better than I do at 6:30 in the morning. Nihilist Geek. I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right. I know we talked about pronunciation last time, but after this week, my brain is just gone. 460 words. Cindy got 388. Destiny got 237 and was answering a text from her husband at the store. That happens to me too. Whenever my husband goes to the store, I always get a phone call or something that says, what else did we need? Or, is this the right thing? Yeah, I guess that's what happens when husbands go to the store sometimes. Away from Harbor got 268. Yeah, Alex says his character does not celebrate the holidays anymore, I guess. Nihilist Geek, he probably is at work, he never rests. I'm assuming, is that your answer to the question about the holidays? So you're saying that your character works through the holidays, which means basically he doesn't celebrate the holidays. When she was alive, my character celebrated the holidays by spending time with her mother and sister. That doesn't work now that she's undead and her mother has passed away, so it'll be, yes. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So that kind of happened to my main male character a long time ago, way before this book's timeline started. Like I said, my main character is like 300 years old. So back before he was turned, when he was human, because he's a vampire, he celebrated Christmas with his mother and sister. His father passed away during World War I. So he was kind of man of the household. So and his mother was very down south traditional. So they definitely did celebrate it was a very modest celebration of Christmas, but he was very family oriented as a human. And then when that happened, when he got turned and kind of ripped away from his family, that obviously made him depressed, and he didn't want to celebrate Christmas because that made him think of his family, and which only made him more depressed. So yes, that sounds like that's kind of what's happening to your character. I forgot to turn on my break timer, but I'm pretty sure we're getting close. So let me finish what everyone got written. Nobody in particular, which is Amy. Sorry, Amy. Got 447 words, but 447 words. Yeah, you are creeping up to 500, Amy. I mean, I know I said when I first started I'd like to get to 500 words in 15 minutes, but I am still in my good old 200 to 300 word mark, I guess. I mean, sometimes I can creep up. I think it depends on what I'm writing, and I do think I will do better with longer sprints. I really do think I will. Okay, Jace says his MC's parents are arrogant, bigoted, and traditionalist. So they probably not only celebrated traditional Christmas, but also openly mocked every other tradition. Yeah. I can't say that my main male character's mother would have been like that, but it was 1920s and 30s South, American South. So I know way back then there weren't very many other religions that were openly accepted. So yeah. Yeah, okay, so hey, so apparently we were burning a Yule log with that bonfire. So hey, that works. Okay. So this time I'm not going to forget. Before we start, we're going to get started on our next writing sprint in a minute. But before we get started, I'm going to quick ask you guys the final question for the break when we get back. And this should be an easy one. And that's just, is your main character or main characters, if you have more than one, a coffee or a tea drinker, if they had to choose one or the other? And that's the question for when we get back. So let's get started on our last writing sprint. And I'm going to let the timer count it down because apparently I didn't realize that this timer does that. So 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, guys, and that is time. Let me know how you did and what you were working on. Are you almost done your scene? Are you halfway through your scene? I don't know, where am I at in my scene? I'm almost done this scene. Because the rescue scene is pretty much over and I'm going to be moving into the next scene, I guess. Although I need to decide what I want the next scene to be, because the way I have it written, I might need to add an additional scene in between this scene and the next scene I had originally planned. But we'll see. Oh, and make sure to answer the question for the break, which is, does your character prefer coffee or tea? Okay, so let's see how many words we got written. I'm up to 629 for the stream. So I have to math 629. I got 256 words that time. Okay, so question for the break was, does your character prefer coffee or tea? Kayleen would prefer tea. But the main male character, Raoul, would probably prefer coffee because that's what he grew up on. His mom usually made coffee. But Kayleen was the opposite. They usually ended up having tea. I don't know what kind of tea, though. I never really thought about it, but I did think about the tea or coffee thing. Okay, so let's see how everybody else... Oh, okay, so let's see how everybody else's characters would choose. So Alex says one of his characters would prefer coffee because they own a coffee shop, and the other one would prefer booze or mead. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess they don't have to choose coffee or tea. And then Jay said his main character would definitely choose coffee if there was only a choice between coffee and tea, but would usually prefer Gatorade or sports drink as his top choice. And it would have to be decaf coffee because he avoids caffeine like the plague due to his nature. Why does he need to avoid caffeine? Because what is his nature? Is he very hyper? Just curious. Okay, and Sky says that her current characters are both coffee drinkers. Ian says his character's definitely a coffee person, but he can't relate to the whole tea thing, so maybe that's why. Nihilist Geek says her main character's a coffee person. Amy says her main male character prefers coffee and her main female character prefers tea, so that's kind of the way mine is. Destiny says one of her main characters doesn't drink either, and her other main character drinks. Oh yeah, that's right. You're the one with 5 characters. Oh yes. Okay, so out of 5 characters, one wouldn't drink either. No, 1, 2, 3. You have 6 characters? Holy crap. So 4 characters wouldn't drink either coffee or tea. And then one would drink coffee and the other one would drink tea, but only if it's iced. Okay, I think hopefully I got that right. Like I said, there's no way I'd want to keep track of the main characters. I wouldn't. Thank God you have a binder because it looks like you probably need it. So let's see how everybody did with words this time. Okay, so Destiny got 197 words. Why are you growling? Is 197 is good? Why with the growl? Amy got 398. Ian got 516 words, but still in the earlier stages of the scene. Although my scenes aren't like movie scenes, they're more like sequences. I'm trying to understand. I don't know what that means. Probably because when I'm thinking of writing scenes, it plays out more like a movie in my head. So what do you mean by a sequence? Alec got 343. Cindy got 415. Nihilus Geek got 310. Okay, well, it sounds like everyone's been doing really good because most of you guys are getting, you know, a good amount of words in. Although I know Sky said that she was doing something else right now. She was just kind of watching and talking. Oh, here it is. I'm struggling with words today, so I'm just watching YouTube instead. Oh, she plans on writing later tonight and tomorrow morning. Well, there you go. I mean, everybody deserves a break. I mean, I know apparently I had to take a break all week because, you know, shit happened, and what are you going to do? You know, stuff happens. I mean, some things just have to come before writing sometimes, because, I mean, if the kid slashes his eyebrow open, you kind of need to deal with that, right? Right. Oh, okay. And Jace, I think Jace was answering my earlier question about why can't he have caffeine? Magically energized blood, that already sounds super interesting, makes him restless easily, and he only sleeps a few hours a night. Caffeine would be a very poor choice for him. Aha. So caffeine would just make him run around like a complete nut, it sounds like. Oh, okay. Now I know why she's growling, because she got a bunch of texts from her husband's from the store and she couldn't focus. Okay. I can relate to that. That happens to me on a regular basis, which is why there are times, even though I might be able to sit down and write, I don't, because I feel like if my son is at home and awake right now, he's down for a nap. So he's sleeping right now. But if he was awake, I probably wouldn't be doing this, because he always comes to find me. Even if daddy's home, he still wants to know where mommy is. So if he's awake, I generally can't do the live stream thing. And I have a really hard time writing in general when he's around, because he's constantly interrupting me, because he's 3 years old and he's learning how to talk and hold conversations. And that means he wants to talk and hold conversations every minute of every day. And because usually my husband works and I'm stay-at-home mom, most of the time those conversations are with mommy. So he just kind of associates that with mommy. So usually if he's awake and at home, I can't sit down and write, because he doesn't give me enough time to concentrate in order to do that. So I was thinking about trying leaving the house to write, just so I could concentrate better, even if he is awake. But I'd only be able to do that weekdays after my husband gets home, and he doesn't even get home till 5:30, or I'd have to do it on the weekends. And writing away from home seems to be really hard for me, because I don't like writing. I like writing in Scrivener, and I don't have a laptop that supports Scrivener. So, I mean, I used to use Google Docs, but my laptop doesn't, my laptop just is weird. The cursor keeps jumping around on me. So I'll be typing something, and then all of a sudden my cursor will go like, 10 lines up, and all of a sudden now I'm typing 10 lines up where I don't want to be. And then I have to constantly stop and readjust the cursor, and it's just super annoying. And I don't want to deal with it, because I don't want to spend the time to leave the house, because I live in the middle of nowhere. So it takes me at least 20 minutes to even get somewhere that I could sit down and write. So I don't want to spend, literally, it would be 40 minutes travel time for me just to sit down and spend half of my time readjusting a cursor. So that's why it's like when my son goes down for a nap, that is when I sit down and write. And he's napping right now. It's just previously in the week, it just didn't work out very well, because something was always going on. Hospitals, or cooking, or vet visits, or something. There was always something. Oh, okay. And Ian was explaining the sequence thing. It's not like a single thing in a single place. It's a couple of scenes strung together around a single point of conflict. are you writing from multiple points of view? So like it's the same, they're talking about the same thing, but they're all in different places discussing it. So you're like hopping from character point of view to character point of view, but they're all kind of talking about the same thing, maybe. Sounds like my ex. Wait, what? What sounds like your ex? What was I talking about? I don't even know. Anyway. Yeah, this is where my brain is. I told you. I did warn you guys. Oh, you know, that's a good idea. I never even thought about that, Ian. Try turning off the touchpad of your laptop. And I do have, I just bought one like a few weeks ago. I didn't have it long. I bought like one of those little mini mouse things that I could plug in, so I don't have to use the touchpad one. And I didn't even think about turning the touchpad off. I'll have to figure out how to do that, because that sounds like it might solve all of my problems. And that would be wonderful if I can actually leave the house and get some writing done, because I'll probably get more writing done. Okay, guys, so that's going to be everything from me. Thank you for joining me for these 3 writing sprints, and thank you for playing along and answering all of my questions. I really enjoy kind of hearing about everybody's projects and characters, and you all, it sounds like everybody has like really interesting stories going on right now. I'm kind of, you all have to let me know when you know, hit publish or are looking for beta readers, because it sounds like I'd like reading all of them. It sounds like we have a lot of cool, interesting ideas going on. So, so yeah. I will be hosting another live stream next week. It'll be Friday again, and I'm gonna try and do it. I'm gonna try and have it at 1 p.m. like I normally do. I had to push it back to 2 today because my son had a doctor appointment, for a hearing doctor appointment. So and it wasn't until 11:15, and we live like 35 minutes away from the doctor. So I wasn't sure if I'd be able to be back in time for the 1 p.m. So I had to change it to 2 p.m. But next week, my daughter has a doctor appointment, but it's at 8 in the morning. So I should be able to get back in plenty of time to start by 1 p.m. So I'm planning on live streaming again next Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you are all able to make it next week. And yep, I will see everyone next week. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye.